No one truly knows themselves until they have been tested. Did you know? Currently the world population has just surpassed over 8.1 billion people, and there is not a single soul on this planet who has life completely figured out. Not one. You see the way life is. Life is an inbuilt system that refers to the natural process and mechanism that guides you towards growth, learning and survival. And it has the human instinct to adapt, evolve and seek balance in all situations. From the time of our birth, we have the capacity to develop emotionally, physically and mentally through our experiences, challenges and interactions. So it is this very system, this inbuilt system, this very natural process that pushes an individual towards self-development, resilience and finding purpose in life, even though life is completely unpredictable. And the most important part of this vessel, this body, is one single piece, and that is your mind. But the fun fact is, the mind does not like change. Your mind rather be secure than go out to take a risk to gain something. But that's just the way we are built. And during this process, like I said, when the brain does not like change, and because it does not like change, that rises to two kinds of biases: the confirmation bias and the anchoring bias. The confirmation bias is basically our minds selectively filters out information that is fed to us that does not align with our existing values, our existing beliefs. And even if we process this information, our mind will give it very less value compared to something that aligns with our existing beliefs. An anchoring bias is our brain holding on to the very first information that it receives. The very first time you learn something, our brain holds on to it, and it's very hard for your minds to let go of that information, even if you provide substantial evidence showing that it might not be that accurate. So you see, our brains are a very interesting and a funny design both at the same time. Because when you learn something, your minds have to constantly rewire and restructure itself. That is why we perceive uncertainty and unpredictability both as dangerous, as compared to something that we are of a familiar nature, because it's obviously an evolutionary advantage. So we as human beings, we are programmed as such. But this changes over time. This changes as we age, with experience, with challenges, and more importantly, with our belief systems. Now, life has a funny way of acting to us. Life tries to test us, likes to test us through many challenges. But the question comes down to what happens when this foundation, this natural process is shaken. What happens when you are tested beyond your imagination? That happened to me. At 20 years of age, with a bike accident that my doctors couldn't fathom my survival. Lying in coma with 18 fractures on my skull, my ribs broken and my spinal cord injured, saying that I would die on the 4th day. My entire life came to a standstill. It took me months to process what had happened. You know, when an individual goes through a very life-changing incident such as this, they go through a lot of phases. They go through phases of confusion, a lot of phases of denial and anger. But it's also met with a lot of depression, loneliness, and losing of hope. And hope, ladies and gentlemen, is the most important thing in the entire world. When I was at my lowest, I was looking for something to pick me up. I was looking for something to get me off from this lowest situation that I've ever been in my life. And I found this very small flame. I found this very small flame inside that directed me to at least seek for hope. And during this journey of 10 plus years, I've seen, I've felt, I've experienced, I've failed, I've gained, I've been embarrassed, I've been at the top of my game, and it has made me a completely different version of who I am. And because of all these failures and successes and what I had to be through, I was able to push myself beyond my physical and my mental limitations to become an immovable force. But during this journey, I've discovered something. That fire that I found, that flame that I found, is instilled in each and every one of us. But it's for you to decide the magnitude of that flame. You see, in life, when you have nothing to lose, you have no more fear. When you have no more fear, you can do anything that your mind tells you to. But the trick is on how you channel that energy. Every single day, life gives you so much of opportunities to learn, grow, and adapt. But it's your mind that is influenced with your beliefs, with your surroundings, with your people of influence, your insecurities. But the core on what you choose, whether you're comfortable with it or not, lies here. Lies within your own mind. It's as simple as saying it's a battle between oneself. I want you to all pause and I want you to reflect on the decisions and the choices that you have made that has placed you exactly where you are today. There is a purpose in each and every one of you sitting over here. I want you to reflect on how you are as an individual, as a brother, as a sister, as a father, as a mother, as a sibling, as a human being. We are the accumulation of the choices and the decisions that we make over a period of time. And the thoughts that you have and the power of those thoughts can alter your realities from the smallest to the greatest of ways. But the question comes down to how much energy have you given those thoughts? Have you incorporated those beliefs and converted them into actions? You see, there is so much to look forward to in life. There's so much to grow to. And there's only one single limitation standing in front of you. That's none other than yourself. This means nothing but beating your own personal best, being better than who you were yesterday. Because the power to change any aspect of your life lies in your own hands, and the belief, the strength of that belief will determine how much you change your destiny. To do that, a human being has to function at a very optimal level. And there are 5 aspects I will share with you that you can tap into your existence that can attain you that level of achievement. Number 1, we talk about the physical aspect. Physical aspect means from everything, the way you look, the way you dress, the way your body type is. To be a person of optimal level, you have to be lifting weights. Exercise is the most important thing. You are a human being. Like we say, 20,000 years ago, we used to battle saber-tooth tigers. So that's what human capacity is meant of. Lift weights, exercise, move. Your body is 60% water. Fuel yourself right. Breathe, incorporate. This is how you function at an optimal level internally. Dress, like when you walk and you look at yourself, the way you dress smartly, dress sharply, because then you feel you're a boss level material. This is what you can do in your physical aspect. Second, your mindset. Data is the most important thing in the entire world. The biggest companies in the world don't buy anything. They don't want you to sell anything. They buy the most important valuable asset for them is data. So learn, educate yourself, enrich your mind with as many books as you can. Your future self will thank you. The more knowledge you have, the better you are at in dealing with things and handling things. When you walk in a room, you should be able to hold a conversation about any single topic with any single body regarding anything, with an open mind to have a new perspective. Number 3, your network. You have 5 people you hang out with. You know, your friends, your 5 closest people that you are with. You incorporate the style, the pattern, the sitting style, the way they think, the way they speak, even the music that they listen to. So choose your circle very wisely. Stay away from the negative people, stay away from the drama, stay away from people that isn't aligned to your goals. Number 4, your systems. Anything that you want to do in life, you want to change, you want to incorporate, you got to have systems in place. Those things have to revolve with your 24 hours in a day. And if it does not align with that 24 hours of your day, you got to stay away from it. So have systems in place and do the hardest things first thing in the morning, your day becomes easier. Do the hardest things early up in your life becomes easier. Don't be comfortable in comfort. Be uncomfortable throughout. Don't be satisfied with where you are. Always have a growth mindset. And most importantly comes down to my 5th point, and that is mindset. Mamba mentality. I learned this from my top 3 biggest inspiration athletes, Kobe Bryant, Muhammad Ali, and Mike Tyson. Have a mindset to outwork every single individual that you know. Be the toughest person that you know. Put in more work, because work is done when people don't see. Results are what people see. You know, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of times people start a journey. People start a journey towards a goal, but seldom few are able to reach at the very final destination. You know why that is? That is because of one crucial factor, and that is not motivation. That one crucial factor is focus. And that is the one thing that every single individual needs. But that is the first thing that people lose focus because of distractions, because of pleasures around you. When you have laser sharp focus at your goal, nothing can stop you. So have laser sharp focus because it's one life. Why don't you embrace the light within to the highest voltage possible? Be resilient. Because no one can beat a person who does not care about losing, who doesn't have any fear, who doesn't care about embarrassment, who doesn't care about being back to zero over and over again. No one can beat that person. See, in the end, we have no control of our yesterday, but we definitely have control over tomorrow. The universe, it gives you what you want. Your body as a vessel, your mind as a connection, and the strength of that connection will determine on how much you receive, how much you gain, how much you can alter your own realities. So let that light spark, let that spark within you, because each and every single human being is meant for greatness, is meant to be exceptional. And the beauty of it, that power, that source, that very seed lies within each and everyone's mind. Thank you.